Hey, James Miller here, coming from Fort Worth, Texas. You can follow me on Twitter at James Miller Live. You can also check out my blog at compoundyourdevelopment.com. Today I'd like to talk to you about SMART goals. And just in case you haven't heard of SMART goals stands for you want to have goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. And I'm sure if you're here, you've heard that for the first time, or maybe you've heard that word in the past. That sounds about right. I mean, why wouldn't you want to have goals that are specific and measurable and relevant and attainable and time based? That sounds about right, right? Wrong. And I'll tell you why. Smart goals are holding you back. They are truly holding you back. Why? Well, let's go through SMART real quick here. So, specific. Now I have to agree with specific. You need to have specific goals. Why? Because you need to have something to look forward to go after. If you have specific goals, say your specific goal is that you want to become a successful entrepreneur. Okay, that's great. And you know what you want, but in what field? Okay, I want to be a successful entrepreneur in internet marketing. Okay, that's great. That's a good goal to have. Okay, but now we need something way to measure. Oh, great. That is the second letter, M, measurable. So you want to have measurable goals. Okay, you want to be an entrepreneur. How are you going to show that you're a successful internet marketer entrepreneur? I'm going to make $100,000 a year. We'll just go with that because mass majority of people make half that amount. So we'll just say $100,000. That's a good number. Okay. So let's say you make $100,000 a year. So now you have, I want to become a successful entrepreneur through the form of internet marketing, and I want to make $100,000 a year. That is great. It's great to have that. Why? Because now you have something to focus on. Okay, I need to get to this number because, and how am I gonna? And now I know how I got to figure out how I'm gonna do it. So on a daily basis, so I can say I need to do this, and that every day. And if I do this, and that every day, I'm gonna reach my goal of $100,000. Okay. So I agree that you need specific and measurable goals because now you can figure out what you want to do daily. Okay, now we go on to A, attainable. Now this is when it starts to get a little, I'm not so sure about attainable. See, the reason why they say attainable is because what happens is if you make big goals, right? You make a big goal. I want to make $1 million a year, right? What happens for a lot of people is they see that $1 million a year, and at first they have these big dreams. They feel good about it. They're like, yeah, I'm going to make $1 million a year. But all of a sudden it's day 2, day 3, day 12, day 20, whatever, right? And all of a sudden, they feel like they need to go from, say, $40,000, $50,000 a year, and then they need to jump to $1 million a year in 10, 12 days, or even a month, or a year, or 2 years, however long, and they get discouraged. And so then what happens when they discourage? They quit. So that people say they need to have attainable goals, right? But all attainable is doing is really condensing you and compressing what you really can accomplish. I mean, do you really want something attainable? I feel like at least you want something that's just out of your reach, not something that you can grab. You want something that's like, man, I can't quite get it. At least that, right? At least something that and to be honest with you, you want something you have to jump and dive for. That's what you really want. Those are the goals you want. You want to have big, audacious goals. In fact, not Robert Kiyosaki, but Grant Cardone has a book called The 10X Rule. And in the 10X Rule, the concept of the rule is that any goal you have, say your goal is to lift 3 pounds. Okay, and then I think this is my favorite part of his book, or the best way to describe his 10X Rule, is you want to lift 3 pounds. You want to make sure that you can do it easy. Okay, or say you want to do it at 3 pounds, a certain amount of reps at a time. So say you want to do 3 pounds 10 times, right? So if you're training to lift 3 pounds 10 times, do you just lift 3 pounds and just keep practicing with 3 pounds over and over? No. What do? You train with heavier and heavier and heavier weights, and you want to actually, you try to train and get to the point where you're lifting 30 pounds. That way when you grab that 3 pounds and you go to lift it, whatever, push it over your head, I don't know, right? When you go to do it, it's easy. It feels like a pencil. It feels like nothing in your hands. Lifting 3 pounds 10 times is nothing because you can lift 30 pounds 10 times, right? That's how you train. You do that because even say you're training for 3 pounds, and say you're having a bad day, but you've trained to lift 30. You're having a bad day, and instead of lifting 30 pounds 10 times, you can only lift, I don't know, 15, half that. You're still 5 times stronger than you need to be. So even on your worst, on a day when you're half as good, you're still way above your goal. So attainable goals really are holding you back. They're holding you back. And let's look at the next one then. So if attainable goals are holding you back, let's see relevant. Well, what's relevant? Is it really relevant for somebody who's making $40,000, $50,000 a year to make $100,000 a year? In today's society, most people would say no. Oh, no, there's no way this guy who makes $40,000, $50,000 is going to all of a sudden double his income. That's not relevant. That's unrealistic, right? And especially if that guy has aspirations to make $1 million a year. I mean, people are going to say, "Yeah, get out of here, man. That's not very relevant." Well, how ridiculous is that? How inspiring is it for you if you have a goal to make $1 million, right? Because if you have a goal to make $1 million, think about what $1 million can get you. I mean, it can get you a lot, right? And it can actually provide the type of lifestyle that you want for yourself and your family members and friends along the way. You want to be able to do what you want with who you want, when and whenever you want. So $1 million could provide that. $1 million a year could provide that. But can $50,000 do that? Certainly not. Can $100,000 do that? And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with making $100,000. I'm just saying, probably not. I mean, there's a lot of people at $100,000 that are making $100,000 a year, and they're just getting by, right? So, relevant, realistic, that's just a bunch of BS. Make your goals big and audacious. Don't worry about what's relevant for everybody else, because what's relevant for everybody else, that's average. You do not want to be average. If you are average, you're doing something wrong, right? Let everybody else be average. There's no reason for you to be average. You want big goals. Stuff where it gets you up in the morning. If your goal is to make $100,000 a year, do you think that's really going to get you out of bed at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning? No. When you're tired and you went to your job and you need to put in some extra time to start that side business, you think you're going to really want to do it if your goal is only to make $50,000 or $100,000 a year? No, it's not. Trust me, it's not. But when you have big goals and you have a big why, you will jump over mountains to do it. Not if you got $50,000 or $100,000 goals, or if your goal is just to lose 5 pounds, lose 10 pounds. Of course not. Okay? So, last one is T. You need to put a time, there needs to be some type of time constraint on the goal. And I think that actually is great, because let's be honest, if you don't have a time, you don't have, say, I'm going to make $100,000 in a year, 2 years, or whatever, what's going to happen is you're just going to push it off. No, I don't need to do that today. I don't need to, work on my side business today. I don't need to go work out today. I don't need to eat healthy today. I can do something else It's all right. My goal is because you don't have a goal, you don't have a end point. And does that mean if you get to your end point and you haven't reached it that it's all done? You should just give up? No, you just keep pushing until you get there. But you need to have something so that like once again, when you wake up in the morning, you've got to do it. And the reality, that's the only way you're going to reach your goals is you have to focus on them every day. You have to do certain tasks every day so you can take advantage of the compound effect. The compound effect is that 2 plus 2 does not equal 4. 2 plus 2 equals 16. Right? Because all of a sudden, you went from learning daily, day after day after day after day, and you're learning more and more and more and more, and all of a sudden you make this just jump, right, into this new atmosphere of health, wealth, happiness, right? So forget smart goals. Smart goals are for average people, and I'm guaranteeing you the people who made smart goals were people who want to keep you average, because anything attainable and relevant, that's just trying to keep you average. So what kind of goals are you making today? Are they smart goals, or are they just big, audacious 10x goals? And by the way, anybody out there who is really trying to accomplish big goals, and be sure to go either buy or go to the library, for God's sakes, and get the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I love that book. But to learn more about goals and things that you want on my video today, I really do want to hear what you think about SMART goals, and if you're setting any goals for yourself, and how big are your goals. And be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my blog as well. As I've said before, I'm going to have plenty of quality content for people who are looking for personal development tips, as well as want to have more of an entrepreneur mindset. Be sure to go check out my blog at compoundyourdevelopment.com, and I love to hear your comments on there as well. So this is James Miller, and I'm out.